खाली हे करला नहीं हां ठीक है आज जो छटा जो ऑनलाइन क्लास अछि सेटा हम कोठो गोटे भलो इंटरनेट रे बसले करे खाली क्लास हम लागो डिजिटल करदेबा अच्छा करंट अफेयर्स आज रो संडे मंडे बिस्किट करंट देबो Good afternoon. Today we will cover the AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Last time we discussed about the NDB, the New Development Bank, promoted by BRICS. And parallelly with the NDB, one more financial institutions was created, and it was created to just checkmate the hegemony of the Western and European countries, American and European countries, in the existing global financial institutions like the IMF and World Bank. Because these two global institutions created in the post Second World War period by the Bretton Woods Conference. So they decided the loans, but they do the favors to different countries. Things are not transparent. The country who are close to them, they get more favorable conditions, in terms of favorable terms and conditions. So it is called that these Western countries, like the European and American countries, so they have a big domination in the Bretton Woods institutions, the World Bank and the IMF. And the major borrowers from these two institutions are the Asian countries, the developing countries. But they have no say over there in the decision making, the loan sanctioning, etc. As if the terms and conditions are dictated by those countries. That is why, as a reaction to Western domination over the Bretton Woods institutions, so these countries decided to have a bank of their own, and they created parallelly two such institutions. One I discussed last time. It was the BRICS promoted NDB, New Development Bank, by the BRICS: Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Okay, they created the BRICS Bank, subsequently named it as the New Development Bank. Fine. And so parallelly to this NDB, the BRICS Bank, another financial institution was also created, which was the same year or the same capital, in the same country, you can say. NDB has headquarters at Shanghai, and AIB headquarters at Beijing. So in the same country, China, the Western domination over the Bretton Woods institutions. And second, that we are going to discuss today, they are the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, or AIIB. Right. But the name suggests AIIB, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Okay. So to start with, so the Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank is a multilateral development bank. What it is? It is a multilateral development bank whose mission is financing the infrastructure for tomorrow. Remember this, right? Financing infrastructure for tomorrow. So future forwarding infrastructure creations will be financed by the AIIB, especially as the name suggests, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So promoting or financing infrastructure construction are the major focus of this particular bank. Okay. Through tomorrow, infrastructure sustainability as its core. That means infrastructure to be built which will be sustainable over the periods, and because these Asian countries, they are on a rapid expansion spree, and they are the emerging economy, there is a need for massive infrastructure addition in these countries, and this particular bank was created with the wholehearted intention to finance those infrastructure projects in the ASEAN countries. Its mission is to improve social and economic outcomes in Asia, aims to connect services, market, people by investing in sustainable infrastructure and other sectors. What it aims at? Connect services. Different service sector is growing. When this World Bank and IMF were created, service sector was not that prominent. Fine. So subsequently, service sector emerged. The service sector growth is tremendous in the 21st century. You can say the 21st century is going to be the century for the service sector. And market where right now global market. So there is earlier market confined to specific area, specific country, but right now market is globalized market. And right now through the travel, transportation, social media, people are connected to each other. Fine. So connecting services, market, people are investing in sustainable infrastructure. Fine. Because that needs investment. Infrastructure means so what physical infrastructure like a road, railway, airway, waterway. Fine. Physical infrastructure. Then digital infrastructures. Fine, like all these digital connectivity. Then comes right now we're thinking of what another way of that infrastructure that right now you can see that what is being projected right now, the energy infrastructure. What is energy infrastructure? Fine, so earlier energy connection generation as per the requirement was the prime responsibility of the specific country, but right now through the International Solar Alliance ISA. So what they want? So one sun, one earth, one grid. So if sun is one, earth is one, then why not connect all the country through one particular power grid? The surplus country will contribute, and the country need a power will take it from. And this country for contributing to this pool to the grid, they will earn from the country making the payment to the as per the requirements. Fine. So this is what called the energy infrastructure. So all these need to be built. Okay. So and that needs huge funding. So which will be financed by the AIIB. Hope it is clear. It is established by the AIIB Articles of Agreement. Okay, in 2015, which is a multilateral treaty. The Paris, the party 57 founding members to agreement comprising the membership of banks. So initially the banks are 57 founding members. Founding members. Fine. So headquarters at Beijing in China. Okay. AIB began operations in 2016 with 57 founding members, 37 regional, 20 non-regional. So try to very clear. So it was Asian. It was Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. So it is a regional grouping. So from the region there are 37 members. If you want to add outsiders as members, so 20 outsiders were also added as members to this particular group, non-regional. At the end of 2020, so its membership has increased to 103. Fine. So representing approximately 79% of the global population and 65% of the global GDP. See, in a very short time span, this membership has almost doubled. The original 57 members, okay, so the membership has crossed 100 and it is more than around 110 right now. The bank currently has 105 members and some are waiting, okay, including 14 respective members from around the world. The membership open to all members of Asian Development Bank or the World Bank. It is open. So the members of the country which are members of the Asian Bank, Asian Development Bank, which are members of the World Bank, they also can get the membership of this AIIB or Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank. Fine. This is the main advantage of this particular bank because it has kept its membership open to all members of the World Bank. Okay, and World Bank it has created a challenge to World Bank, but it has kept its membership open to World Bank members. That is why within a very short time span of around 5 to 7 years, its membership has doubled. Fine. So this shows the importance of this particular financial institution in the global perspective. Fine. Then objective, what the objective of this particular bank? The promoting sustainable economic development, creating wealth, and augmenting infrastructure connectivity in Asia by investing in infrastructure and other productive sectors. Fostering regional partnership and cooperation to address developmental challenges by working in tandem with other bilateral and multilateral development institutions, enhancing investment in private and public capital for developmental purpose. This is most important. What? Enhancing investment. What? Enhancing investment in public, private, and public capitals for developmental purposes. So to generate the capital from private contribution as well public contribution. Fine. If the resources are at disposal for funding development in the region, including projects that will contribute to balanced economic growth of the region, because this region is not, its growth is not balanced. There is regional imbalances. Okay, even in Asia, the bank was created for Asian, but in the Asian continent, so there is imbalanced regional growth. Some countries are poor, some countries are somehow in the middle one, some countries are becoming rich, like country like China. So it's the second largest economy right now. You can say the rich country. Okay, country like India. So they are up in that that they have come to the even the India, country like India has gone beyond the developing status, the emerging status. Then next come country like Pakistan. So they are the poor countries. So this region is a very complex region as far as the development is concerned, balanced economic growth is concerned, because development growth is not means similar, but is not equal among for all the country of this region. That is why so this bank also aims to contribute to the balanced economic growth of the region. So how? Through financing. If finance is a need, a requirement for development, which is no doubt each. So by providing the finance, this bank want to achieve the goal of balanced regional development. Promoting private investment in enterprises, activities and projects contributing to economic development in the region, whatever private capital is not available. Fine. The structure of AIB, the board of governors consists of one governor and one alternate governor appointed by each member country. Governors and alternate governors serve at the pleasure of the appointing members. The non-resident board of directors is responsible for the direction of the bank's general operations, exercising all powers delegated to it by the boards of governors. AIB staff is headed by the president, who is elected by the AIB shareholders for a 5-year term and eligible for a re-election. Fine. Structure. Every organization for the functioning need a structure, proper hierarchy. So at the top is the board of governors. The AIB, the highest decision-making body, is the board of governors, which consists of one governor, one alternate governor, appointed each member country. Governor and alternate governors serve at the pleasure of the appointing member. That means the member country. The non-resident board of directors is responsible for the direction of the bank's general operation, exercising all powers delegated to it by the board of governors. So next comes the board of directors. They are directed by the board of governors to operate. AIB staff is headed by the president. So head is the president. The president is elected by AIB shareholders for a 5-year term and eligible for a re-election. Fine. So the AIIB president holds an elected office, and he is elected by the shareholders, or who shareholders means the AIIB shareholders. Okay, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank shareholders, they elect the president, and the president is elected for a 5-year term and also is subject to re-election. And the Chinese, the first president, it is Chinese person, banker. So that is what? Okay, yeah, the first president of AIIB is from China. Like the first president from NDB, from India, KB Kamath. Similarly, the first president of AIIB, because the Chinese promoted bank, China has a major shareholding in this AIIB. So obviously the major say. So the first president was a Chinese. The bank has established an international advisory panel to support the president and the senior management on the bank's strategy and policy, as well as on general operational issues. Voting rights. China is the largest shareholders in the bank, followed by India, Russia and Germany. See. So largest shareholding is with China. So major say with China. China is the largest shareholders. Financial issues of AIB. AIB initial capital was USD 100 billion. Divided into 1 million shares of $1 lakh each, with 20% paid in and 80% callable. China is the largest contributor to the bank, contributing USD 50 billion, half of the initial subscribed capital. That is why China has a dominance in the bank. because it is Chinese promoted bank. So China contributed 50% or $50 billion as the seed money for the bank. Fine. So that is what this is called a Chinese promoted bank. Okay. And this bank started its operation to provide the financial requirement for the countries in Asia for development of infrastructure. Fine. Moving forward. 5 key accomplishment of the AIB. Rapid growth. AIB began operations in 2016 with 57 founding membership, 37 regional and 20 non-regional. By the end of 2020, it has increased to 103 and by now we have more than 105 approved members representing approximately 79% of the global population and 65% of the global GDP. The bank currently has 105 members. Highest credit rating by three major rating institutions since 2017. AIB has received AAA ratings, a triple A rating with a stable outlook for the top credit rating agency, Standard & Poor, Moody and Fitch. The three global rating agencies, you must be knowing, it comes as a question. Which are the major rating agencies in the world? One is S&P, Standard & Poor's, second is Moody, third is Fitch. The three have rated AIB very well, AAA, a triple A. Industry recognition of the sound financial standing has enabled it to expand bank's presence in international capital markets. In 2018, AIIB was granted permanent observer status in the deliberation of both the United Nations General Assembly and the Economic and Social Council, and the two developmental focus principal organs of the global body. Okay, so it got observer status at the UNGA as well as the ECOSOC or Economic Social Council, which looks after the economic and social development of the world, being a specialized organ or the major organ of the United Nations. Both the United General Assembly and the Economic and Social Council are the two major organs of the United Nations, and AIIB finds its presence in both. This shows the importance given by the global community to this particular organization. The structured governance model provides good efficiency and accountability to the organization. Strategy for all major infrastructure sector for its investing in equity, mobilizing private capital and financing operations in non-regional members have all been approved and being implemented. India and AIB. India has 7.6% shareholding in the bank, which is second to China that has 26% 6% shares. India is the largest beneficiary of AIIB financing for infrastructure projects. This AIIB has approved 5 projects in India, so that includes, okay, so the Bangalore Metro Rail project of 335 million, transmission system strengthening project, Gujarat Rural Road Transport projects worth 329 million through 13-year loan to provide all-weather connectivity to 4,000 villages in 33 district projects. The total loan sanctioned by AIB to 5 Indian projects is worth 1.07 billion. Since its creation in a very tough small time span or short time span, so India is a major beneficiary of the loans given by the AIIB. So 1.24/7 power for all projects. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These 5 projects have been sanctioned for India by AIIB since its inception, and an amount of 1.074 billion has been sanctioned to India. This accounts almost 28% of the total money of the bank has led 24 projects worldwide. So that means nearly one fourth of the total sanction made by the bank has been sanctioned to India in the period, and AIIB has approved for lending USD 200 million to National Investment and Infrastructure Fund of India in subsequent period. That means India has emerged as a most credible borrower from the AIIB, and this was because of India's own credibility. Because India is a credible country, so the AIIB agreed to provide that financing to India. That is a credit you can take on Indian side, because since creation, India has been rated well, and India has a very big credibility before the bank. So maximum 24% of the loans, nearly one fourth, have been sanctioned to India. This shows India's credibility. NIIF is an Indian government-backed entity established to provide long-term capital to the country's infrastructure sector. This portfolio includes investment in ports and logistics, real estate, and renewable energy. In February 2019, the AIIB and the Government of India signed an USD 455 million loan to finance the Andhra Pradesh Rural Road project to connect some 3,300 habitations with a population of more than 250 and benefit around 2 million people. The bank has also approved $500 million for the COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund and the Health System Preparedness Project. See, so since its creation, so because COVID became a big issue for almost all the nations in general and India in particular, and Indian response to COVID is very proactive. That is why, so India agreed, India applied, and the AIIB sanctioned India a substantial amount even for the COVID management. Fine. In the COVID management also, okay. So India is able to get the support of AIIB through the COVID-19 Emergency Response Fund and the Health System Preparedness Project. This shows that how the AIIB since its inception became very favorable to India in sanctioning amount for India. Issues associated with AIIB. What are the issues that are with AIIB? Okay. Okay. The United States has opposed the AIIB and considered it as an unwanted inclusion into the multilateral financial system. Definitely, because America controls the World Bank. America dictate terms and financing to these other countries. But once AIIB emerged, so the dependence of these countries like India on World Bank solely was no more there. This is the biggest factor why America is against AIIB, because bank do business, bank earn profit. These American controlled banks, by lending to countries like India, are amassing enormous profit. But with the creation of AIIB, this profit margin is on a fall. Or this lending, so India is no more that much interested to get a loan from AIIB. That led to what? Falling trade of India, just earnestly applying for the loan from World Bank because India has alternatives in the form of AIIB. That is what. The world's lending industrial economy, Japan and the USA are not members of AIIB because the following express concern. There is no certainty that the bank will maintain its rigorous loan screening practices or keep its funding operations separate from China's political ambition, because China owns 50% share. So obviously China has a domination. If China has domination, so countries like America and Japan they're apprehensive that China might dictate in future. So the present norm being followed by the AIIB Board of Governors. So although it remains not that influenced by China, whether that will be the trend in future or not, that is not guaranteed. So they apprehend that in future this transparency may not be maintained by China, because this is a Chinese controlled bank. The AIIB may not be able to maintain this transparency. Based on this doubt, both America and Japan are not member of this particular group. Okay, so joining the AIIB could require making a huge financial contribution to the entity. So definitely the country joining must contribute. So that is why so countries like America and Japan are not inside it. AIIB non-resident bonds inhabits transparency and accountability. It reinforces the perception that the AIIB will be much more centrally controlled by the Chinese government. Okay, so we are leaving something. So let us, we should let you all jot down some more things. Okay, so what need to be, so we will discuss about what we have left is, so if two things need to be discussed, so just look at here. So the funding, one is funding. When it comes to funding, China contributes 50%. Fine. India is the second largest, contributed 8.4 billion. China contributed 50 billion. Okay, rest are distributed among other countries, among the 105 countries members. Fine. This is the funding. So in proposed to the funding, so there is a this is say in the decision making. Fine. So or otherwise called as the voting rights. Okay. China has the largest shareholders with 26.61% voting rate. Because it has 50% shareholding, or it has contributed $50 billion. Okay. India has 76%, so 7% only. So India has 7.6% share voting rates. Russia, another country, another member has 6.1%. Fine. Germany, another big member. So share is 4.2%. Okay. So this says the regional member, that means the ASEAN members. So the regional member, how many in number? 32 founding and subsequently some added. So they have around 75% voting rights. Fine. This is the issue. Okay. So here also we can say, although this organization was created recently and is a new creation, still there is inequality in representation, in shareholding, in voting right, which are not. This is about AIIB. In the case of NDB, it is all equal. Okay, all the five countries, the BRICS, Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, all are equal in shareholding at BRICS, NDB. But the same is not the scenario in case of AIIB. It is different. China has a hegemony here. So what we want to check in World Bank and IMF, the domination of the Western countries is being replicated here in the form of domination of China. Okay, this is called a Chinese promoted bank. But still, to some extent, creation of this particular bank has led to reduce in the influence of World Bank in global financial market, because there is no other alternative. So one was World Bank or World Bank group institutions. The second one was ADB, Asian Development Bank. But the AIIB and NDB, so they open the parallel financial institutions in the global scenario. Okay, that is why it is good for the emerging countries, developing country of Asia and the non-nation members to access their finance. And second most important part is through this bank, so these member countries, they want to get rid of the Western domination which they have been facing since 1945, the year the World Bank was created. Friends, hope that today's discussion is useful for you, and we'll keep on discussing similar topics in future to update you on other major international institutions. Thank you for watching.